Mary had a little lamb.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
New questions about whether opportunities were missed to stop Thomas Crooks before he took aim at former President Donald Trump.
Take a look at what happened.
Crooks was shot and killed by Secret Service snipers after he opened fire with an AR-15 style rifle, just 148 yards from the former president's podium.
We have people that should not be here. On the roof.
Oh my God. NBC News now learning Crooks was spotted before he got on the roof. Rally-goers on their way in noticed Crooks pacing and behaving strangely near the metal detectors, according to 4 officials. They alerted local police, who began pursuing Crooks on foot. A U.S. official telling NBC News that during the pursuit, the officers told Secret Service they were looking for a suspicious person in the area. It's not clear when Secret Service was notified.
Look, there he is right there.
But Crooks did make it onto the rooftop. 2 senior officials telling NBC News he had a Home Depot receipt for a ladder when they searched his body. Officials have not confirmed if that ladder was found on site. NBC News learning 2 local police officers approached Crooks before he opened fire, but couldn't stop him. The head of the Secret Service telling ABC News local police were actually stationed inside that same building. A Secret Service spokesman says the location of the roof fell outside of their central security perimeter and was the primary responsibility of local law enforcement. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the U.S. Secret Service, now conducting a review. The DHS secretary acknowledging mistakes were made.
When I say that something like this cannot happen, we are speaking of a failure.
This is very Uvalde. Doesn't this sound very Uvalde to you? Something has gone on in the local township, county police departments in this here nation that things happen very Uvalde-ish now all over the place. Evidence is now being compiled, video evidence, audio evidence, evidence that one of the snipers, a local police tactical, local snipers. I mean, why do these little towns like Butler, Pennsylvania have, sniper teams? I have no earthly idea, but they do. And they were on the roof facing the wrong way. And now we're finding out that they took photos of they were taking pictures of the rally, and they were, and they were facing the wrong way. The person that actually got the shots off was on a roof, 148 yards. These weapons that are used in these, King Soopers shootings. All of the guy in Las Vegas. Well, he had so many guns to choose from. It was just unbelievable. Apparently, this shooter, Crooks, his dad had a veritable arsenal in the house. They loved the sport of shooting, and they would go often. In fact, I hear the younger Crooks, who's now dead, was at the shooting range just prior to climbing up on the roof and taking shots at Donald Trump. I mean, and the response was so terrible. It was just so bad. And, I don't know. I mean, if Donald Trump crafted the shooting by himself, it would have looked exactly like this. And maybe that sounds conspiratorial, but I'm just getting ready in case Donald Trump should have a second term. Okay? Because the conspiracy theories are going to fly when truly all that's going on is very, very poor policing in various places across this here nation. I mean, it's shocking. It really is. It's twisted. Now, I will say that the Secret Service, just so you know, the Secret Service does rely on local police. They rely on township police. They rely on county police. when they go to a place, okay, and the police are very used to working with Secret Service. If a president has ever come through, or a campaign has ever come through, or a Secret Service protectee has ever come through, then your local police department, mine obviously, because I live 5 miles from Donald Trump, and your police departments, if Donald Trump's ever done a rally, they know how to coordinate with the Secret Service. They know what their job is. The Secret Service would do a secure area, and then the unsecured areas would be policed by local, county, township, etc., right? Because there just aren't that many Secret Service agents. There just aren't that many. But the buck stops with the Secret Service. They sign off on everything and anything that is planned for the protectee. There is some sort of an operations plan, and it's given to the head of that detail, and they sign off on it. How in the world could anybody sign off on? And this is again, if we didn't have Uvalde to look at, you wouldn't ever believe how piss poor some of these responses are in this country, right? Okay, so how could you sign off on a plan that has a line of sight firing roof? Just hearkening back to the gentle 60s where everyone was killed. I mean, so many, just like one assassination after another, okay? MLK, JFK, well, he came first. Then MLK, then RFK, okay? Then Fred Hampton. We went over this yesterday. This is a very long list of people that have been sniped, okay? And so I don't understand these weapons. They can shoot 500, 600 yards if the wind is just right. Okay. And this guy is 148 yards. That is a football field and less than a half. A football field and a half. Okay. For argument's sake, away on a roof with a clear shot, and they sign off on it. Now, if I'm hearing this correctly, the head of the Secret Service, her name is Kim Cheadle. She does accept that the buck stops with her. Okay, but the idea that they had decided, and she said this, and it freaked me out, that the roof that had the clear shot had a slope. It was a sloped roof, right? In fact, it was so sloped that some people saw the guy, but some people didn't see the guy's gun. And a lot of people said that they saw the gun. A lot of people said they didn't see the gun. I mean, it's just because it was sloped, right? But she said that they had made the decision, the Secret Service did, that because the roof was sloped, that they didn't want to position any of the local officers on a sloped roof because it was dangerous. And so they decided to protect that building from inside that building, like the book depository, which is where, Lee Harvey Oswald, decided to stage his little extravaganza. That's where he put his supplies, inside the book depository across from Dealey Plaza. Well, this guy was on top of, let's say, Dealey Plaza because the local police were inside the building. In his pocket, they found a receipt for a ladder. And one of the local police officers said, well, if he was on the roof, he would have needed a ladder. And, we didn't have one. They found the ladder. There was a ladder. I'm telling you that, number one, wherever this kind of, wherever Trump goes, there's chaos. I just, wherever he goes, whatever he does, there's chaos all around him. It just follows him. That's number one. Number two, the policing, as far as, we can see in Butler, Pennsylvania, was tragic. The policing, as far as we could see in Uvalde, was tragic. The policing at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas was tragic. Yeah, remember Marjorie Stoneman Douglas had the security guard and the sheriff. They didn't want to go in the school. They were too afraid. They never went in. They stood outside. They stood outside. You want a police state? Expect more of this. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.